Welcome back to Bred to Win. Little Avondale Stud has had so much success with their wonderful stallion Per Incanto, of course the dam sire of the world's best sprinter Kaying Rising, and a Group 1 producing sire in his own right. Now they're standing his son Little Brose, an exciting stallion with a rare quality indeed, a Group 1 winning 2-year-old in Australia. Sam, Little Avondale, it's just a glorious stud farm that you and your wife, obviously now Dame Katrina, Dame Kat, that you run here in New Zealand. Tell us a little bit about how you feel going towards the spring, because you know you have a new stallion, Little Brose. He's so exciting, a blue diamond winner, and of course your stalwart, his sire in Per Incanto.
Yeah, thanks Caroline. Look, it is really exciting. Obviously Little Brose, you know, his first foals are going to be arriving, and I think it's the most exciting thing for any stud master. It's the anticipation of the newborns, and look, we're going to see another crop of Per Incantos, his 14th crop, but it's the Little Brose. Are they going to come out grey? Are they going to come out black? What colour are they going to be, you know? So look, everyone's really excited, and spring in the air. Look, I mean, it's been an amazing winter. The farm looks fantastic. Look, everyone's just can't wait. So no, we are really excited.
With 150 to go, grabbed by Little Brose. Little Brose takes the lead from Arkansas Kid.
Well, Little Brose himself, obviously, you know, he was a blue diamond winner, as I said, but you know, he came out so early. His first start, he was second in the Maribyrnong Plate. Second start, he won the Merson Cooper, beating the Newmarket winner and the Golden Slipper runner-up Cylinder. He spelled, he came back, he was second to Barbara in Blue Diamond Prelude, but then he won that Blue Diamond. So, you know, he's done everything you would want to see from an early 2-year-old, and he's then gone on to be a Group 1 winner in the autumn.
You know, he's a New Zealand bred horse. Whilst, look, he was born in Australia, but by Per Incanto, to win a stakes race pre-Christmas for a New Zealand horse is quite unusual. Went to show his precocity. Look, he was a very good looking yearling. He sold for 200,000 that year. Dean Hawthorne picked him out for the Hayes team there at Lindsay Park. Look, they placed him really well. You know, he delivered on what he looked like as a yearling. Very athletic, and he's gone to the track early, won a stakes race. As you said, you know, he's come out and beat Cylinder in the Merson Cooper. But the thing what I loved about his racing, he wasn't a front-running 2-year-old. He came from behind. A bit further down the track in his career, unfortunately, he kept on drawing wide barriers, but the horse could come from behind and had that acceleration, and that's what we're looking for now. Is that I don't think you can ever have enough speed in a pedigree, and Little Brose is hopefully going to bring that to our broodmares.
It is Barber Cornish kicking back and out wide Little Brose. Barber just in front from Little Brose as they reach the line, and it's going to be Barber from Little Brose, and then a photo between Cornish and Brave Halo.
Talking to Ben Hayes, you know, Ben always thought that he was really going to be come into it as a miler later on in his career. And look, he went to Hong Kong. He ran second up. He then won a couple of trials, and David Hayes came out and labelled him just prior to, obviously, his good horse Kaying Rising stepping out and saying, this is going to be my international sprint horse. Unfortunately, he went amiss and did a tendon, so that was the end of the horse, and so we didn't get to see him perform over a mile. But look, it's definitely in his pedigree. There is speed in his pedigree. Absolute Glam, who won the Group 1 for Danny O'Brien. Look, it's a very good family. It's a fast family. Look, I'm looking forward to it. And the other thing is, he's Danehill free, so he's quite easily to mate up, especially here in New Zealand. As Per Incanto and Little Brose, Street Cry loves Danehill. Yep. Both of them are Danehill free, so they're both easy to mate to.
Yeah, and I think the really exciting thing with any of the Street Cry line is, you know, we obviously know Pride of Dubai was also a Blue Diamond winner, but he sired outstanding racehorses such as Pride of Jenny and others. But this sire line can produce champions. You know, we know Winks, of course, is by Little Brose's grandsire, Street Cry, the sire of Per Incanto. So that's the exciting thing. You don't know what you might get from this horse.
Look, exactly. I think personally, over the last 4 to 5 years, Street Cry has had quite an effect on the Australian breeding scene. Street Boss, the sire of Animo, Jimmy Star, Rockin' Horse, our own Rockin' Horse. These horses, they're performing, and they're not just winning 1 or 2 races either. And Street Cry is doing it also as a broodmare sire, and we're seeing that also with the sons of Street Cry doing it as a broodmare sire as well. Per Incanto, I think he's had 14 black type performers as a broodmare sire. He's running at just under 7% runner to stakes winner. And Karying Rising, I think he goes okay.
Exactly.
I honestly do believe we managed to get under the guard of a lot of Australian studs to sneak Little Brose. You know, we managed to acquire him halfway through the breeding season that year. This is after he'd hurt himself, and to get him, so everyone was concentrating on the current breeding season, and we managed to sneak him in. So, look, it was a bit of a win for New Zealand.
He's from an American mare, so speed, what do you physically see in him? I mean, he's a beautiful mover, he's a beautifully balanced, athletic looking sort of horse, but, you know, obviously a stud master has to like what he's seeing to be selling this horse to mare owners.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously the big horse, Per Incanto, he's an older horse now, but when we first saw him, he just that fluency in his action and just such a good walker. He's done that going through to the sale ring, and his progeny are very good moving horses, so they're easy to sell, put to the marketplace. Little Brose, he's got beautiful rhythm about him. There's so many traits with Per Incanto and Little Brose that are so similar, especially when Per Incanto was a young horse as well. And that's what really took me to buy the horse. There's no way in heck I was going to let anyone have Per Incanto, so to stand his first son that has gone to stud, you know, I didn't want anyone else to stand his first son either.
And he had great fertility season 1 as well, as you said, expecting the first foals now.
He covered 140 mares last year and got 129 in foals. That's 92% fertility, which is fantastic. And yeah, look, the horse just looks at them and they go in foals. So that makes life really easy.
Jimmy Star levels up, Jimmy takes the shot and won the all-age stakes.
And then, of course, Per Incanto, as we've touched on here. So, you know, take us through Jimmy Star, who you bred, you part own. So he won the All-Age, the Oakley Plate and the Orr Stakes in 1 year in 2025. But it was so great to see yourself and Kat so involved, the whole family, with Jimmy Star.
Yeah, look, and the other thing is, Jimmy coming out and winning all those races, and often it's during the stud season, so it's pretty difficult to leave the farm. But when he ran in the Everest, look, it was a once in a lifetime. You may never have another horse in it. So yeah, look, we were definitely going, and he's put so much joy into the house and here on the farm, and with the Algies, Chrissy and Pete, who bred the horse with us. You know, he started in Hawke's Bay with Guy Larry. He had his first 3 runs there, and then the rest is history. Bought by Aussie Care over there with Kieran, and he's just done a superb job with him. So looking forward to this year. Because, you know, I think he's going to step him up more to the mile trips this year, and so really looking forward to that.
And another big claim to fame, of course, Rockin' Horse, who won the VRC Sprint Classic and a Newmarket, but she was in the Little Avondale colours too, so that was so exciting. And now we see she has the foal, who's by Zoostar, who's going to be heading to the yearling sales. So again, it's that next generation down that's so exciting.
Yeah, look, Madam, and that's Rockin' Horse, she's got the most unbelievable temperament. You can go down the lane. Katrina goes for a push most nights, and she'll push down the lane. Rockin' Horse sees her, comes straight up to the fence every time to say hello. She's just an unreal horse. It is exciting, her first foal by Zoostar, going to the yearling sales this year. He's a magnificent colt. Personally, I think Little Avondale, we've got not just our best draft on paper, but our best draft as far as individuals. There is a good number of Per Incanto colts this year. He stood at a fee of 60,000 last year, 50,000 the year before. And look, there is a magnificent bunch of animals in the paddock, so really excited about that. The other thing is too, you know, he's just had a season where he's had 11 stakes horses on the track, obviously highlighted by Jimmy. But he's had 4 black type 2-year-olds this current season just finished, And you know, he's got some exciting 3-year-olds going forward. He really has.
You know, obviously the other Group 1 is he's had Belclair, the beautiful Bonham, but Gringotts, of course, he won a rider, but you've seen a lot of these Per Incantos in some of these really high-priced races in New South Wales they've been winning, so that they're soon to be stakes races, and some of them already are now, but imagine if they had been stakes races with some of those performances.
Yeah, well, is it a gong and the dance? You know, look, the big dance. Yeah, look, I think Gringotts now won 12 races, and I think it's in excess of about 10 million. He's been an amazing horse, and you know, he won the George Rider at Group 1 level, which is one of Per Incanto's 9 Group 1 winners. He's been an amazing horse, and I think Aussie Care and Kieran Maher have had a lot of success with the Per Incantos, and they look to actually have a pretty smart one coming through at the moment too, and another new one. So yeah, it's really neat, and looking forward to the up and coming season.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll keep tabs because you do so much social media. It's really great to see. Love the clips that go out. So I'm sure we'll be seeing some of those first Little Brose foals coming up shortly on social media. But good luck for the spring, and especially with him now that, you know, the foal's just about to arrive, and your dear old horse, 22 years old. We can see him over there in his paddock with his head down. Good old Per Incanto.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. Look, we're really excited about it, and taking out the Jewett Trophy, which my father won 4 times with Oncidium and Agricola, and for Per Incanto to now do that, and taking out the Centane Award for the 2nd time in a row. Look, it's been a massive 12 months, and we're looking forward to 26, 27, and let's hope it's as good, if not better. So looking forward to it.